Page 14 and the last page of proportional reasoning. Hallelujah. A total of 40 people made cakes for a bake sale. Each person made 3 cakes. Mrs. Sanchez found that 15% of these cakes were chocolate. How many chocolate cakes were made? Okay, 40 people. Each person made 3. So I'm not given the total, so I need to find total. Total will tell me that's 40 times 3. 40 times 3 is 120. Then it says Mrs. Sanchez said that 15% of these cakes, 15% of what? Of these cakes, 120. And remember the word of means to multiply. I'm just going to do 15 times, or 15%, excuse me, times 120. And remember, 15%, you can't see the decimal, so out of sight, stick it to the right, so it belongs there. And then thinking Dr. Pepper, I have a percent, I'm changing to a decimal, I move twice to the left. So 0.15, 0, 10, 6, out of 0, 0, 2, 1, 6, 7, 8. And then 0 numbers here, 2 numbers after my decimal there, meaning in my answer I need 2 numbers after my decimal. And the answer is 18, which makes sense because 15% is not a whole lot, especially because the 120 is my total. All right, Pia spends $40 to $50 at the grocery store each week. Man, that's not a whole lot. I wish I did. She spent about 20% of the amount on fruits and veggies. So 20% of, what did we say? The 40 or 50 bucks. Which of the following is a reasonable estimate? Okay, I like it when it says reasonable estimate because I can round. Reasonable estimate of the amount of money Pia will spend on vegetables and fruit at the grocery store during the next 3 weeks. Okay. There's a range of money that I spend each week. Then it's 20% of this that she spends, which is a reasonable estimate of the amount that she will spend during the next 3 weeks. Okay. So I'll do, on the low end, she spends $40. What is 20% of $40? Well, let's multiply. Remember, in the last question, in order to use my percentages, I had to move my decimal over, which is why I'm multiplying that by 0.2. That's 0, that's 8. 0 numbers after my decimal, 1 number after my decimal here. So that's 8. This is $8 if I'm talking the low end. Okay, now, if I only spent $8, but they are asking about 3 weeks, then I would just do 8 times 3, and that's $24 for 3 weeks. Let's look at my choices. Oh, that's crazy. This is also crazy because maybe that's my answer for 1 week, but not for 3, so that's not good. And I guess maybe those are the 2 that I would choose from. Now, if I had to guess, I'd pick that one. However, let's keep going. The low end was the $8 per week, but on the high end, $50 and 20% of $50 is $10. So at $10 for 1 week times 3 would mean a total of $30. So we're looking at a range of $24 to $30. So that's too high. What do you know? My guess would have been correct. And remember, reasonable estimate means that I probably could have done a little more rounding. Either way, we're good. Carrie missed. I don't know, I can't read. Carrie missed 9.6% of the problems on a test. Really? Anyway, the test had a total of 125 problems. Which of the following is the best estimate of the number of problems Carrie missed? Okay, so she has this ridiculous percentage of what she missed, because nobody does that. But it was out of 125 problems. It does say best estimate, so that's good. And we are still talking about missed problems, because sometimes they'll give you maybe the amount that she got right and then ask you how many she missed. But that's not how this one works. So since I'm estimating, I'm changing this to 10%. And it's 10% of, remember, of means multiply, of 125. Now, this is super easy because I know how to find 10%. Okay, 10% tells me that I can just move my decimal twice. I'm sorry, not twice. There's 1 0, so just once to the left. My estimation is 12.5 questions, which, again, if I were to guess, I would have given you this, but we can work it out. 125 times 10%. A lot of you forget that you can get rid of that 0, so I'm going to go ahead and keep it. Still prove to you that I can get this answer right. 1 times 5 is 5. 1 times 2 is 2. 1 times 1 is 1. My decimal rules say I count the numbers that are after my decimal. There's none here. There are 2 here, so there needs to be 2 in my answer. Adding that up. Oh, what do you know? 12.5, same answer as this one, so G, 13.